All right, beautiful people, thank you so much for joining me once again. And now we are in Burkina Faso, right? The Burkinabe authorities were explaining to both African Union, ECOWAS, and the European Union Parliament, and everybody calling that, yo, you guys should go back to democracy, and that's a democracy, freedom of speech. They say, hey, don't come and talk to us about that. Listen to this, man. If you're enjoying the vibe, please hit the like button for me. Very, very necessary, okay? Yeah, where's that video? Yes, it's here, right here. Let's go.
There are strategic plans to assassinate our leaders that are underway. And when I speak of strategic plans to assassinate leaders, I need to be precise so that my words can be understood. From the moment we talk about democracy, it is said that the AES countries must return to democracy. They must return to holding elections. What kind of democracy are we talking about? That question mark deserves to be raised, considering that from the 1960s to 2022, if I take the case of Burkina Faso, we have been governed by so-called Democrats who were brought in and installed by people sitting on the other side of the ocean.
You see, he was very specific that the democratic leaders that came on board were brought in and were installed, not chosen by the people. Let's go.
What has been the impact on the ground? Let me give a few examples. From 2022, that means from 1960 to 2022, that's 62 years. Compared to 2022 up to 2026, that's 4 years. In 4 years, here is what has been accomplished. When the call was made to the Burkinabe people to face the current situation in 2022, as I speak to you now, the people have reached into their own pockets and contributed 541.2 billion.
That is FASOMEBO contribution to build the country right there.
The people who are said to be suffering have contributed 541.2 billion to deal with the current situation. That has never happened in our country before.
You know, I always tell you many of the time that the time Captain Ibrahim Traoré took over, one of the first challenges he faced was how to pay the soldiers. The people contributed. That was how FASOMEBO was birthed, right? Let's move forward.
So, when we talk about a suffering people, which people are we talking about? Second example I'll give, in the health sector. Even though we are in crisis at war, like our brother countries Niger and Mali, a decision was made. When you had kidney problems and needed treatment, you had to pay a deposit of 500,000. The head of state issued a decree and this 500,000 deposit was abolished. Isn't that a human right? Through the defense of human rights.
This is beautiful, right? And these things, you can't find them on the Western media. You can't find them anywhere, right? Let's move forward. This is interesting.
Second example, at the community level. During a time of crisis, we funded 15 mobile clinics for all the regions of our country. People no longer have to travel to Ouagadougou for treatment during emergencies. In every region, there is a fully equipped clinic on site. There is no greater defense of human rights than that.
Why is the Human Rights Watch not talking about this? If they claim they are Human Rights Watch, why are they not talking about this? Let's move forward. I'm enjoying this, eh?
A third example I will give is at the level of universal health insurance. This allows people, including those in the informal sector, to contribute 4,000 francs per year. And no matter which healthcare facility you go to, you are taken care of. Why, from 1960 until 2022, was this not done? Another example I will give. When we look at CT scans, if you have an accident right away and go to the hospital, you could die because they can't do a scan. The cost has been reduced from 50,000 to 25,000. That's a 50% reduction during wartime. But from 1960 to 2022, this was never done. Let me take, how should I put it, we have just launched the recruitment called Operation 1000 times 5. 1000 times 5 means that each year we will recruit 1,000 specialist doctors over 5 years. From 1960 to 2022, those who established their democracy. There, this was never done.
I mean, these things, you can't get them on the Western media. They are not talking about it. They ignore it. I mean, with this analysis, you can clearly see that the people cannot be ruled back to what they were practicing. Yeah.
Let me give another example. We have just opened the hospital, the largest hospital in our country on July 29, 2025, in Abobo Dulazo, in cooperation with China. And I tell you, Your Excellency, that in our country, since 1960, it was on July 29th, 2025 in Tengango that there was a first operation allowing for a kidney transplant in our country. When someone was sick, they would take a plane. It was on the other side that they would go to have it done. It's being done in Burkina, in a country that is at war.
I mean, can we clap for this? My goodness. Oh my, Traoré is working, right? Traoré is working. Let nobody deceive you. This is coming from Burkinabe citizens.
Another example I would add, there has been the construction of 920 CSPS from 2022 to 2026 in a country that is at war. On December 21st, 2025, or even up to what we have just observed, we took stock, and it amounts to this. 38 newly built health centers. In a country at war, I could name others as well. People say, but what are human rights? It's the right to life, isn't it? What I just mentioned is to allow people to live and be in good health. Another aspect is the issue of food. You can't ask someone to be healthy if they don't eat properly. From 1960 to 2022, nothing was done. From 2022 to 2026, despite the fact that we are at war, there has been mechanization and agricultural inputs. That means just for 2025, the state invested 104 billion CFA francs in agricultural mechanization and inputs. And what result did we get? That means 104 billion, which is more than in 2024 when we spent 77 billion. And that allowed us to reach 67,000 tons of cereals to feed the population. That's not it. The defense of human rights. I'll take another example regarding the development of lowlands. The development of lowlands to allow farmers, that is peasants, to be able to take care of them. We went from 5,000 hectares. Since the 1960s up to today, we have gone from 5,000 to 25,000 hectares.
How on earth are you going to convince these people to go back to what they were practicing? It is not, I always say that it's not how people come to office. It is how they serve their people that matters. Okay, when Burkina Faso, they dissolve all the political parties, assuming there was opposition, they will be opposing all of these things. Assuming right now that there is an opposition, this opposition will be opposing all of these things, everything right here. They will oppose it all. Nothing of this will make sense to the opposition right here. I'm telling you the truth. This is why the multi-party politics is a kind of a thing that we need to sit down and ask very serious questions ourselves and restructure something different. Because, you know, we practice this thing for how many years? What is the result? Well, let's look at the result and see if we can make some tweak of changes and then try to move forward as a nation. I'm talking to Ghana, Nigeria, and the rest. As for Nigeria, I don't know where they are going because of the kind of things going on in their country currently. But well, you can see that all the white, you know, the guys over there, this civil society white group, Western back civil society groups and human rights groups, NGO groups, their leaders, representatives are there. They are sweating. Of all the lies, the deception on the media, these things are not anywhere to be found.